today. Oh my god, I should take out my gum. That's so rude. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be talking to you with gum in my mouth. What? Please censor that. I came at the prime time of children coming out of school. I'm like, I always park at a park. Yes, that was correct English. I always park at a park, and yeah, there's like a bunch of kids. I was over here like, oh, I'm just gonna, that crosswalk is brutal, I'll tell you that much. Today I got to work from home, and I even before I had my morning matcha, I had my matcha like at 12:30, and I usually blame the caffeine for when I'm feeling like really anxious, but this time I couldn't blame the caffeine because in the morning I was anxious like for all morning, and I was just thinking about all the things that I had to do and all the things I needed to get done. In my head, I always I logically have to think like, hey, the only reason you're stressed out is because you have things to do, but once you do those things, you're no longer going to be stressed. And so yeah, and I need to remind myself that stress is not a bad thing. Stress is just basically your little reminder in the back of your head of the things that you have to do, but once you complete those things, okay, you're good, you don't feel that stress, I don't feel that burden on my chest. And oh, actually I feel it in my throat. I don't know if anyone else feels it like this, but when I'm a little stressed out, I feel it in my throat. I feel a lump in my throat, and it's just not a great feeling, But I got everything that I needed to get done today, and now I feel good. Which yesterday I was I had nothing to do, not really, and I was feeling guilty all day because I wasn't being productive. And it's like, girl, you can just exist. You can just simply exist. There's nothing wrong with that. Existing, we all do it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with it. And you know what didn't help my anxiety too today? I did do everything that I needed to do. I needed to film a few videos, and I needed to get back to emails and all that stuff. Is that I was scrolling on TikTok and Instagram whenever I had a free moment, and that is just not helpful. I mean, I think we all know this, we all do it, but we all know it at the same time. Your brain going from one topic to another, to a new person, to now music, and now dancing, and now a neuroscientist telling you how to live your life. It is exhausting for your brain. And usually I don't think social media is a bad thing. I think it's always in the discretion of whoever is using it and how you're using it, because out of sight, out of mind. If you're not using it, then there's you're fine, there's it's fine. But in the grander scheme of things, I did notice that I was just that wasn't helping. I'm a big long form content kind of girly. I love me a podcast. I love me Stephanie Sue, the 2-hour long videos. I love those so much. I love a good TV show. I love movies. I've been getting more into movies this year. I blame my boyfriend. So I love long form content, and it feels so much better for my brain too, even though you're not doing anything quote unquote productive. Focusing on one thing for a long period of time, movies feel productive now. What are we saying here? That's where we've come to as a society. I've seen that comment over and over again, and it just it stuck with me because it's true. When I watch a movie now, I feel productive. I'm like, wow, I really got that accomplished. I was able to have my attention on one thing for 2 hours. How sad is that? But yeah, I feel with long form content, I feel so much better in it. I feel so much safer in it. My brain doesn't feel as fried. It still can get like that, obviously, but it is not as bad. And that just brought me to the thought that I had a while ago, and I wrote it down in my notes, that we don't take the time to process things anymore because everything is moving so quickly all the time. Trends move quickly. Ideas move quickly. The news moves so quickly. Something that will be breaking news will only be breaking news for maybe that morning, and then we'll move on to the next thing and the next thing. Whereas before it was oh, something happened, people are gonna talk about it for years. You know what I mean? A town scandal, that's gonna stay a scandal for the next a decade, But now things are just quickly passing by. And I don't think most of us take an opportunity to just like shut it down, shut it off, and like sit with it and be like, what did I just read? What did I just watch? Like, what was put into my brain? Like, what did my brain get to experience for that few lines of reading, or that 2-hour movie, or that 30-second video that I saw on TikTok? And it also kind of reminded me of like the fact that like with my relationship now, we will see each other at most like 4 days in the week, right? Sometimes it'll be 3 days, but it usually ranges from like, yeah, 3 to 4 days. And before, because I've always, you know, since I was young, I always had like boyfriends and whatever. And when you're so young, your relationships can be your whole world, right? Like you, like that will be all consuming in a way. But when you're an adult and you have responsibilities and friends and a job and you have to work out and like there's so much like so many things to balance, it cannot be your whole world, and it should never be your entire world. And the fact that like I'm in a healthy relationship where like we can take time apart and that's okay, whereas before I used to be like, no, like I need to spend every waking second that I can with you. Not healthy at all. But this relationship has taught me that it's okay to like take time and process, and like even on the days that I don't see him, I like missing him. I enjoy missing him, because then I like think back on like the dates that we had, the conversations we had, and I, you know, get to reflect on like what I like, you know, what went great, like the things that we did together. It just gives me time to like breathe and like actually see things as they are, because I'm like a little further from it, versus when I'm like up in like your face like 24/7. Like you're not gonna process anything like that. I mean, you will, but like not in the, I guess not an efficient way. And I used to be like the type of girly that like if we had an issue, I needed to solve it right then and there, because I was like, what's like, why are we taking time apart, or like why do you need like a moment to think? And now I understand when people need a moment to think things through, because it's just like your brain, it's not going to be working that fast, you know? It's not going to be working that fast, and sometimes you need a breather and like, okay, what's going on? Like, what's going on? What's going on? I just need like a moment to actually think about this, think about a solution. What's the game plan? Applying that sentiment to what I consume media-wise, or even like friendships, or just reflecting on like, what am I doing with my life? am I on the right path, or am I hanging out with people that fulfill me and that are just, you know, genuine good friendships? What activities am I doing that fill up my cup? What hobbies that I have? Just being able to take a minute and reflect on things. I started doing this thing, I haven't been as consistent with it, where if I watched a long form YouTube video, I would have my notebook out and I would write like things that just like caught my attention, or things that were interesting to me. Like for example, if I was watching a video like on true crime and they said, oh yeah, in like Alabama, like this law is in place or whatever, and like things like that that would catch my interest, I would write it down. And I want to be able to digest things. Like we don't take the time to actually digest things, because if you think about it, first thing in the morning, wake up, have breakfast, maybe get ready for work, go to work, and as soon as you're off of work, you're just scrolling on TikTok or scrolling on Reels. Then you know, make dinner or order dinner, and then you have to unwind, maybe go to the gym, but you're listening to music at the gym or listening to like a podcast at the gym. And then after that, you get home, get ready for bed, and then, you know, reset. The next morning, you do the same thing. And it's like, there's never any space to like breathe. There's never any space to actually think about, what did I just watch? Or what just happened today? Something me and my roommate love to do is we talk about our days. Like sometimes we'll be in the kitchen and we'll just be like, okay, like this happened today, that happened today. And that also helps with memory. That's like a big thing too. Like everything that we are consuming online, like most of it, we forget it because we're not actually sitting with any of these ideas. A lot of things are cool online, right? There's a lot of cool people on there, experts, so much information. But a lot of the times we don't even remember it because we just scroll to the next video and it's ha ha ha, funny cat, doing a little dance or whatever because its owner is making it move its paws and rub its belly. I don't know. There's like no time to process the good information that you actually saw on there, because there is a lot of cool stuff on there. And social media is great when you're actually intentional with it and you're actually like looking for something specific. When you go on there looking for something specific, you'll usually find it. There's a video on everything. You can find anything online. It's cool, but it's terrifying at the same time. This past week, I've been having myself read for 30 minutes. And let me tell you, the first 10 minutes of reading, there is a lot of push and pull. Like, I can feel myself being like, I'm bored. Like, when is this gonna get good? And like, I will just keep reading, even if things are not sticking with me. Like, if what I'm reading is not sticking with me, I have allowed myself to just like be okay with that, because eventually I think at the 15-minute mark, I will get in a flow state and I will actually be understanding what I'm reading. Like, the ideas are actually sticking, because you have to get past that initial resistance when you're doing an activity that's like better for you, and you get to a point that like there's no longer any resistance and you're just like flowing with it, you know? And I've always said that, okay? Like, that's like the biggest lesson I've learned in 2025 is you just have to continue with the activity until you get to a flow state, because eventually you will get there. Like, our brains adapt so quickly. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not true, because yes, like, even when I quit sugar for 30 days, I think by the 4th or 5th day, I was like, oh, this is fine. Like, it's fine. Dude, we are so malleable, like, as humans. Like, it's insane and it's so cool, but it's also like you have to like continue doing the things that are good for you, because it's so easy to fall into habits that are just like unnecessary and really just don't benefit you at all. But yes, I would say we need to take more time to just like reflect on things. And like, for example, when I watch a movie now, I write a little review on Letterboxd. Not every time I watch a movie, okay? Not every time. Okay, I'm gonna clock my own shit. But for the most part, yeah, like, I'll write my opinions on there or what I thought about the film. And like, for the most part, I'm not very picky with my movies. I'm not that deep into it, okay? But I do enjoy a good movie. I do enjoy, you know, looking back at like what I liked, what I didn't like, and writing a review. That's one way to reflect. Journaling is a big one. Journaling to reflect on your day, on your goals, or if you watch something that resonated with you. I love writing down quotes that I find, especially on TikTok. I know, okay, I know. Or things that just resonate with me, ideas that resonate with me, especially when it comes to like manifestation and like career and success. Like, I'm all about the psychology of all that. So I love writing down notes on anything that resonates with me. And now I have like it's always in the back of my journal. I have all those quotes there, and whenever I need like inspiration, it's like right there, and I'm like, oh yes, I remember I wrote this down and I really like this idea. Like, it just opened up a new door in my mind, you know? Gave me like a new perspective. But another one is going on a walk without listening to music. Listen, I know a lot of people might not like this one, but again, the first 10 minutes are gonna feel weird, but once you get into the flow of it, you'll be okay. There's always gonna be that initial resistance, but you just have to get through it, and then eventually you get in a flow state, and then it's okay, you know? But taking like a 30-minute walk with no music, and you know what, sometimes what I do, I like trick myself a little bit. I will go on a walk, I'll put on my headphones, like my Beats, but I won't have any music playing. But that's like for me to feel comfortable, and that sounds so silly. Like, yes, I'm Gen Z, I know this sounds silly, but like, I need to do that so that there's a little bit less resistance, you know what I mean? But it helps. And then I reflect. You just let your brain just think, you know, just let your brain think and process and get into rumination. I think it's rumination. Oh my gosh, English is my second language, I'm so sorry. I think it's rumination, ruminating, I don't know, just thinking. Just like letting your brain just be its brain, like, I process stuff, and like that's literally how your brain processes things, by thinking back on everything that you've been doing that day, that week, whatever it is, just letting your brain flow, but like not having constant stimuli of like something like a podcast informing you about why you should be carb cycling or whatever. Just let yourself process. Just have a moment of just like nothingness, just nothingness. And I promise you, because I do these things to like help me kind of come down from my anxiety, and when I'm overstimulated, like this is what helps me. And I know if it helps me, like we're just patterns on patterns on patterns, so like I know it's like useful to someone else. Okay, I think I've yapped long enough. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.